Hey you guys, it's Shelly back with Solar Up Astrology. I'm going to let you know that we are moving forward fast in a fabulous February. I had to do it. And let me tell you, the energy is not slowing down. If anything, we're speeding up. Okay. So there is some lessons that we've learned the last couple of weeks with that conjunction with Venus and Mars and the Sun. So we're really being asked to bring that balance of masculine and feminine energy back to our lives, really in a powerful way. Um, Staying in our power and controlling only what we can control and not using any type of tactics like we've used before to control anything we cannot. Okay. I know that makes sense to those of you who are really kind of feeling that pressure to, and it's not a negative pressure, it's a positive pressure to evolve into something greater than what we knew we could be before. Okay. So there is like all that love coming from the astrological geometry right now. Um, and on the 1st of February, we're going to have the full moon in Leo. And I feel like that is the very final kind of push of a reminder to say, hey, we are opposite the sun, which is still in a loose conjunction with Mars and Venus. Mercury is there too, and it's quincunx Jupiter, sextile Saturn and Neptune. So there's all these influences, and Pluto is there too, saying, hey guys, it is time to transform. Okay, this full moon to start the month strong is really, really, really telling us a lot. It's saying what it's been trying to tell us for the last few weeks. This is kind of setting up what 2026, especially at the beginning of the astrological new year in Aries, is all about. So we are wrapping up these old paradigms and we're really ready to express ourselves in a balanced, beautiful, loving way. Okay, a quincunx to Jupiter brings kind of an adjustment that needs to be made, right? And Pluto is going to completely, totally transform anything that didn't work into something beautiful. And with that sextile to the Saturn Neptune conjunction is really powerful because that is all going to meet in Aries. I will go over that as well. And that is kind of tying in like, hey, let's bring a dream life to the surface, to the structure. Let's build from there. And we're really being asked to build a new future in a balanced, loving way. So pay attention on the first, see what comes up for you. There's definitely a lot going on just with that very first day of February. Let's dive into the rest of the month. Okay, so as I said, the full moon on the first, that's going to be in Leo. It's 13 degrees. If you don't know where that falls in your chart, get a hold of me, solarup.com. I've got some specials running as well through the end of the zodiac year. Okay, so by the time we move into Aries, it'll be probably a different set of specials, but check them out right now. They're definitely worth looking into. This is a real powerful time for us to all kind of come together and make a plan and build a community because we're going forward in love and light. And if you're not sure how to do that, reach out. Please, please be part of a community. We're all here in love, and everybody needs to be helping one another at this time. On the 3rd of February, Uranus is going to go direct in Taurus. Okay, so that is an earth sign. Uranus is revolutionary. Uranus is going to break ground. There is something seriously at play here with probably either, well, it could be actual earth, right? There could still be some massive weather, just crazy things that are happening to earth itself, but there's also that tangible kind of like resources, right? So our money could be affected. It could be positive, it could be negative. Either way, whatever it is, there's no way we're going to guess it because Uranus is not somebody who wants to be guessed. It's a surprise every time. It's going to shake the world. So just wait for that. And with Uranus kind of like, you know, hanging out with everybody else in their power right now, we really have so much energy being pulled towards Earth that, it's not time to mess around. So Uranus has some tricks up his sleeve. Mercury is going to enter Pisces on the 6th. So that's going to kind of be the end of that way of thinking. So this month, will bring Mercury through that sort of illusionary, dreamy state, which is great because it gives us kind of that last chance for a while, of course, to say, all right, well, what kind of dreams am I going to be ready to bring to the surface? There's certainly that pull for all of us to be ready to do that. On the 10th of February, Venus is going to enter Pisces as well. So that brings that love and it brings that self worth. So it's like, whatever you were thinking about, Venus comes in and says, hey, were we considering ourselves? What boundaries are we going to put up in love so that we can move forward in a positive way? Saturn is going to enter Aries and join Neptune at 0 degrees on the 13th. You guys, that is a huge, huge energy. That is completely starting out, not a new chapter of life, a new book. We are ready for a new book and we're creating it together. So be sure to stay in that balance, like Mars and Venus and the sun have been trying to communicate, and listen to that adjustment that Jupiter wants, and listen to the transformation that Pluto wants, and listen to yourself because you have the answers already. Um, and then let's just have a solar eclipse, why don't we? In Aquarius, ruled by Saturn and Uranus, right? So we're going revolutionary. What are we building? What kind of eclipse energy is going to affect you? It's going to be 28 degrees of Aquarius. So look at where that falls in your chart as well, because that is a very powerful, powerful thing. Of course, I will let everyone know as far as like a solar chart, where these things are going to fall in each zodiac sign. But if you want a specific reading, please reach out. Um, of course, the sun will enter Pisces the next day on the 18th, and Saturn will actually be conjunct at 0 degrees of Aries on the 20th. Okay. So once we have that push on the 13th, it's kind of like it comes to an exact conjunction, as if it's not conjunct enough already, right? But the exact conjunction at 0 degrees is the 20th. So we have a lot going on. Mercury is going to go retrograde at the end of the month as well on the 26th. So that's going to give us more of an opportunity to run back through Pisces. So it's really given us a chance to kind of take everything that we want and build what we want, because by the time Mercury goes direct again, we're going to be a little bit more used to the Aries energy with that conjunction of Saturn and Neptune. And hopefully by then we've kind of learned whatever we need as far as bringing boundaries and blessings to our own life in that balance of masculine and feminine energy. So let's go ahead. We'll jump in. We will talk about where all this falls in everybody's chart. And again, reach out, go to solarup.com for any discounts, or follow me on Instagram as well. And other than that, let's dive in. All right, so for our Aries, we've got the full moon that's going to be in Leo, that's going to be in your fifth house. Okay, so really, what's going on with your children, um, your romance, your creativity, how your creative self-expression, and just what brings you joy? Okay, the fifth house is totally all about joy and happiness. It could be sports, it could be family, whatever it is, definitely appreciate that. The full moon will be obviously illuminating those things for you. And of course, those things get tied in with all of the other energies that I just discussed. So keep that in mind when it comes to your children. Um, Also, your childlike energy, right? So, what is it that kind of brings that out for you? Keep that in mind for sure. We're going to be talking about here Saturn entering Aries, right? So Saturn is going to enter Aries in the first house for you. That's going to bring an identity reset. That's going to say, who am I and how do I show that to the world? Do I dissolve my mask now? I think so. I think it's time for the world to see the very true raw you. Be exactly who you're going to be. And you have from that moment, and and on, right? Because this is a new book, all right? But also from the 13th to the 20th, when Neptune and Saturn meet at an exact degree, that's going to really, you're going to feel that. Being in your first house, you're really going to feel that. So definitely bring that energy in a positive way. Whatever you are being pushed and pulled towards, let it go. Let it happen. Do not try to be in control of anything at this time. Observe what's happening and use whatever the energy is kind of bringing up for you as a tool to direct you in which way you're definitely being directed, which for sure is being authentic. For sure is saying, it's time for me to be who I am unapologetically. Okay. And there's definitely more, and those answers will come to you this month for sure. The eclipse on the 17th is going to be in your 11th house. So that's the house of being a humanitarian, groups, friends, things like that. So, what is it that's going to come up for you? Mostly is probably, hey, what group am I joining, right? What group am I starting? Where's my community? Who is my community? Let's bring this out in a loving way. Let's completely be ready to transform this world one person at a time, from the inside out, because it's time. It's time. We're in a new book. Figure out who it is and how it is that you want to be a character in this book. What do you want your life to look like? It's time to manifest that, and not just by thinking, but by acting. Okay. So definitely remember those things. The sun is, when it moves into Pisces, is going to be in your 12th house, of course. So that is going to slow you down a bit. And Aries, you can be slowed down. That's okay. I promise. It's going to give you a chance, especially right after the new moon, the eclipse, which will kind of take energy away a little bit anyways, because the darker the moon does that. Um, it's going to give you a chance to sit with yourself in your mind, in that imagination, which really kind of forms whatever dream, and say, okay, well, I am an Aries. We're getting into Aries. We're beginning this zodiac again, but with the outline of the placements of the planets, the geometry right now is incredible. It's incredible. So why not be incredible too? And that's going to give you that moment to kind of sit and relax and be with yourself. And I have a feeling, because of everything going on this month, that it's going to be a very peaceful time for you. So be happy about that. Use that wisely. Stay positive and in love. And the retrograde, of course, is going to be happening in your 12th house as well, because it's going to retrograde while it's still in Pisces. So that'll give you a chance to really kind of go over what it is you've been trying to create in your mind. And once it goes direct again, you'll have a better picture. Of course, don't start new projects during a retrograde Mercury, but tie up loose ends of old projects, or kind of just write down anything that comes to mind, because once we're direct again, you'll be able to organize those thoughts and actually come up with something really exciting. So your focus definitely is a shift of identity, like creating those healthy boundaries for yourself, being who you are, and figuring out what kind of dreams you have for your community, for yourself, and for your inner healing. Let's go, Aries. Okay, so Taurus, the full moon in Leo is going to be in your fourth house. That's your home, your family, your roots, your actual structure. So, what is it that you're building for yourself? What is it that you're building for your family? There's certainly an emphasis on trying to get that figured out. So, it sounds like maybe you're either looking for a job, or you trying to bring in some more income, or you trying to add some passion into your life, into your family. What kind of balance is that going to bring? Because, of course, remember, we're really, really in the introductory phase of that perfect balance between masculine and feminine energy. So bring that about with you. That's what the full moon is all about. Bring that into the home. What boundaries does that set for you? What does that create for your life? So those are some questions you can ask yourself. Or you can just sit in stillness. That's always the best way to get the answers. think about nothing. Let the answers come to you. Okay, sometimes we don't even know exactly what we need to be asking. Just allow the information to come and trust yourself. Um, Once Saturn goes into Aries on the 13th, that's going to start that kind of like karmic clearing, right? So it's like we've gone through the whole zodiac. We've been partnering with Neptune, who's trying to dissolve old structure, old patterns, old paradigms. And, of course, we're going to meet up at a perfect 0 degrees on the 20th. So it's really kind of saying, hey, what is it that you are actually trying to build? Because if you're on track to build your dream life, if you're feeling like you're doing a great job at that, then that's fantastic. Show your appreciation and your gratitude, right? And if you're not, this is the nudge to say, well, make the change. It's time. It's time to just hop on the right ship. What are we doing? Stop sailing to the wrong location when all you've done is go back and forth and back and forth. Get on the right ship. Go to your actual destination, okay? And the solar eclipse on the 17th is going to be in your house of career. It's in the 10th house. So if it is something that the full moon is saying, hey, I'm trying to bring home some more income, anything like that, by then you'll probably have answers and maybe a new job or a promotion or something like that to do with your career. So keep that in mind. Keep that kind of balance going with, okay, what it is that I want to bring to my home, to my family, and what resonates with me. All of those things are very possible towards the end of the month when we not only have the eclipse, but it's the new moon. So it's going to allow you to create those, new beginnings. Okay. So Saturn, of course, is going to join Neptune at a perfect conjunction on the 20th. Keep an eye out for that day. It's really going to enlighten you. Okay. You're really going to understand what it is that you, deep within, need to be building for yourself, for your family, for your career, for your life in general. Yes, we're in a collective new book, but this is an opportunity for us to write our own individual stories as well. Okay. Think about that. When you go into the Mercury retrograde on the 26th, that's going to go through your 11th house. That's your house of friends, humanitarian groups, things like that. So, whatever collectively is going on, you might kind of see that going a little bit, I don't know, out of sorts in some way. Doesn't mean it's going to be bad at all, but there is that 3 weeks where maybe you're not communicating clearly to your friends, to your groups, whatever it is. There could be some weird things that happen, and that's okay. You just kind of go with the flow, observe them, laugh about them, and move forward. So, what's your focus this month? Probably career versus rest versus your social direction, right? So, how is it that you are bringing that balance into your life of career and home and family? Of course, definitely, if you are looking for something new, keep in mind the balance that you want to bring to your home. Don't sway further one way than the other. Okay, there you go. Let's go, Taurus. Gemini. I'm a Gemini. I'm going to say we. So our full moon is in the third house. Okay, so that's kind of cool because, yes, it's in Leo, but Gemini typically rules the third house. So although we're talking about our solar chart, we're kind of in our own home. So we might be talking a lot. Have you noticed? Anyways, so that's going to bring about communication, right? So it's also short trips. You might find that you don't want to stay home. You might just need to be the person running errands or whatever it is. Um, Truths can be revealed as well because it's a full moon and it's all about communication. Just keep an eye out, see what that does for you, and remember the balance that is being asked for at this time. That masculine, feminine energy, plus the dissolving of the old structures and everything that is kind of being asked to make a change. And as we wrap up, this kind of Aquarius and then Pisces energy and move everything into Aries, we're kind of being asked to bring our true selves into that mix and be leaders in a way. So, I mean, we're the communicators, right? So let's bring that out. Saturn is going to move into Aries in our 11th house. So there you go. Now we can talk to all of our friends about everything that we've been wanting to talk about for the last 2 weeks. Cool. Perfect. We'll tell everybody. Let's build the community. Let's commit to the community. Okay. And the solar eclipse is going to happen in Aquarius. So that'll be our 9th house, which is beautiful, right? Because that's going to be our higher mind, our philosophy in life. What is the big picture looking like for us? What are we building for ourselves? What are we building for our community? Are you the leader? Are you a participant? It doesn't matter what stage you are at, be with the community. Absolutely. Like-minded individuals are what's going to carry us forward in this new book. The well, let's see. So when the sun gets into Pisces the next day, it's going to be actually on our career spotlight. So that is in the 10th house. So we've actually had a lot of energy going through our 10th house, at least in our midheaven. So relatively speaking from your actual birth time. But it's that pairing of Saturn and Pisces. So it's really asking us to bring our dreams to reality. What spirituality or imagination, what is it that we're actually building the structure from? And how are we building that? So let's be responsible for our beliefs. Let's bring those things into manifestation through action. Okay, take a step. Do not participate in planning paralysis. If you have the shred of the plan, move forward. Move forward. I've had to learn this myself, and I'm really starting to understand that all you need is one piece. The pieces will be collected as you go. If you plan everything out, you're going to be stuck in that phase for a really long time. So move forward with your plans. Okay. Neptune has been working to dissolve the old mindsets and the old structures for a good amount of time now. And we're all going to go together as it enters Aries and moves forward with whatever it is that we have been trying to build, and we're going to have the energy and that push to help us move forward. Okay, so let's be excited about that and don't waste it. This is an opportunity this year. 2026 is huge. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're not off track if you don't feel like you're on time either. You're not going to miss your opportunities. Just grasp them if you see them, if you can. Listen to your heart. Be who you're supposed to be. Be yourself completely unapologetically. 100%. Who cares what anybody thinks? Straight up. All right. So once we have Saturn in that perfect conjunction with Neptune, it's going to be in our 11th house. Oh my gosh. There's that structure for leadership. What kind of community are we joined in, right? Mercury will go retrograde on the 26th. That'll be through our 10th house. So that's kind of another opportunity to say, okay, did we build this correctly? Or is there anything that I need to change? Whatever. Don't start anything new, but write all that down. Allow those thoughts to come. Allow the confusion to be there. It's completely fine. Okay, a confused Mercury is a retrograde Mercury, and then we put it through Pisces. Come on, you guys. Do not beat yourself up. Just laugh at whatever jumble comes up for you, because you may not be able to communicate what is on your mind. That's okay. That's why Scribble is so amazing, because then you can read your own notes when Mercury goes direct. You can laugh at it again, and then you can make sense of it all. And chances are you've got some good ideas in there after all. So what's your focus? Probably learning, what else can you learn from that 9th house energy, that big picture, and the communication from that 3rd house, right? So that's what the moons are pulling for you to do. What is your new direction in your career, in your community? All right, you guys, let's take it as we sees it and have fun with it. All right, Cancer. The full moon on the 1st is going to be in your second house. That's the house of money. You could either get money or you could have some clarity around your finances or whatever resources you have. It could be a time to purge too. You might go, "Ugh, man, what is all this stuff?" You know, stop being attached to it, or clear out what you don't want and what is totally fitting for an old version of yourself. Get rid of that and bring in what fits the new you. So this is all bringing in kind of that new identity, that balance, that beauty. Everybody's changing. Okay, we're all kind of being asked, like, who is it that we're going to be in this new book? So please, please do yourself a favor and allow that full moon not to just blind you by, oh, cool, I might get money, but hey, how can I use these resources wisely to invest in who I am becoming? Okay. And remember, the second house, very importantly, is all about your self worth as well. So build those boundaries, keep that in mind, and make sure you're giving yourself love. On the 13th, when Saturn moves into Aries, it's going to go through your 10th house. It's going to be all about your career, your public image, what people really see of you, kind of what's your role? What's your role in life there? Saturn brings a certain responsibility. So Saturn's all about responsibility. And when we put it in the 10th house where its natal home is, it's really kind of urging for you to say, like, how do I be responsible for who I am and how I am in the world? So that's the top of the chart. Okay. This is really all about what you're doing, what you're building for your career, for your life, straight up, for your whole life. Okay. And pay attention to the Neptune influence. What is trying to be dissolved? What kind are you using escape versus reality? Or are you blending those? Are you making sure that you have both things in life? It's completely okay to sail away in your imagination or to really kind of bring that, like, that meditation, right? So Neptune is all about what you can't touch. It's like smoke, you can't grab it. But Saturn is what's real. Saturn is a foundation. Saturn is tangible. How do you bring those things to a balance? We've been kind of urged to be thinking about that for a while, but it is really time to be considerate of those things, especially as it's sextile, that positive aspect to the sun, who is still conjunct Venus and Mars, right? So it's bringing in that balance in opposition to the moon on the 1st, of course, being the full moon. So all these things are getting tied together. How are you going to move forward with that? How is that energy going to help you as you go forward in 2026? The solar eclipse is going to happen on the 17th. Remember that it is a new moon at that time. So, what kind of new beginnings are going to spark for you? If you don't know where 28 degrees is in your chart, reach out. We'll go over it. Um, it's very important because eclipses can bring kind of a whole new life with them. So it's very important that you are manifesting what you want, that your energy is beautiful and pure. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes, as long as you're identifying those mistakes, you're learning from them and you're moving forward because you're building from them, right? So you're building a different life, you're ready to go forward. Everything is on time and it's all on track. Okay. So you're a part of this year, you're a part of this month, you're a part of the influence that's going on with these astrological placements. So use them wisely and definitely understand that with the influence of an eclipse, it's going to be more powerful than just a normal new moon. And that's going to be in your 8th house. Okay. So that's secrets, that's transformation. It's also like shared resources. So if you're building something with someone, maybe it's time to consider how you shape that into something that works for the both of you, or the whole, however many. There could be, it could be about a group, but whatever it is, just that shared resources. I certainly feel at this time with the influence of Pluto and the influence of really all of the planets and how they're playing together. They're really playing nicely together. So take that eighth house energy, which is Pluto, right? It is transformation, and understand that you're getting the boost to be able to do that. You're being helped right now. So let go of anything that doesn't resonate with you anymore. Just let go. Completely drop it and move forward. If you feel fear, who cares? Just let go and feel love instead. Feel hope. Feel uncertainty. All those things are going to be okay, because this is what the planets are telling us. Okay, this is what any astrologer right now is saying. Not all astrologers are the same, but there's no denying the fact that we are in a positive, loving world filled with just blank pages right now in a new book. Okay, so if we can all join together in a loving state and write this book, then, that gives us a lot of power and a lot of control in our own lives. So if we use that in a positive way instead of how it's always been used, right? The dissolving of the structure, the transformation, the balance of masculine, feminine, um, and the changes, right? So all of these things are things that you need to keep in mind. Um, and then, of course, it's going to be meeting Neptune in your 10th house. Okay, so Saturn and Neptune in your 10th house is like, hey, dude, what are you doing in your career? I bet you this is something you've been thinking about. I bet you this is something that's been on your mind, and you're going to get the support now. So I hope you're ready for that and that Aries push forward, okay? Although the Mercury retrograde is going to happen on the 26th, it's going to be in your ninth house. So it's just right behind that, right? So it's like, what's your big picture philosophy and all that? Um, it's going to give you a chance to really think about that. It's going to say, hey, what is it that we're trying to do in life? Saturn and Neptune are over there in the 10th house saying, hey, we're ready to go forward and build the career. But Mercury's like, whoa, this is going really fast. Can you give me a minute? Just let it. Okay. Build that structure in your time. You just have that energy helping you. It's supportive right now. It doesn't mean that you're late. You know what I mean? So just allow things, just observe how things are. So what's your focus? Probably money, your purpose, your belief system, how to bring expansion to your life, and of course, bringing balance. All right. Okay, so Leo, the full moon is all yours this month. So we're starting off the month in your sign. It's going to be in your first house. So it's all about you. It's your identity, right? What's your personal culmination? What is it that you're here to say? Okay. What are we supposed to see from a Leo right now that says Leo's not messing around anymore? I see the boundaries being set. I see the purity. And a Leo has always had that energy of like kind of masculine, um, I don't know, not control, but like just a presence, right? Just a real presence that says, yeah, I'm a Leo. And, right? But I think that Leos are really feeling the influence of Venus right now as well, being paired with Mars and the Sun. The Sun is your ruler. Okay. The Sun rules Leo. So all of those energies being brought together right now says bring your feminine side in with your masculine and use that Leo outline that you've always known as like a building block, right? So this is who I am now, and these are my boundaries. All right. And this is who I am totally authentically. I'm so excited for you. This is a really, really, really good time to just kind of prove that you already know your worth. You're already ready to shine because you're a Leo. You don't mess around. Let's go. Good for you. Full moon time. That's exciting. All right. So the 13th, when Saturn gets into Aries, that's going to be in your ninth house. All right. What is it that you've been studying or expect to kind of have a new interest in whatever it is that you're going to study next? there's a lot of like influence in the ninth house with a higher education, expanding your learning. The ninth house is ruled by Jupiter, so it's an expansion place anyways, right? So although we're talking about different planets, we're not talking about Jupiter right now, we still have that influence pulled in. So a really, really good way to understand astrology on a very, very simple level is to kind of take what adjectives, right? Describing words, pick a few from each planet. We're going to talk about the planet that rules the house. We're going to talk about the planets that are in that house. Take an adjective from each one of them and create a sentence from it. Easy peasy. Okay. So we've got Saturn, which is structure and responsibility. Um, we've got Neptune, right? That's kind of dreamy, and it's really dissolving old structures. It's saying, what is it that you want to build? What's the new fantasy for yourself? And then it's also Aries, so that means Mars, right? So that's that energy of being pushed forward, that let's go, that motivation. It can be impatience, so definitely be discerning on that. And then you've got Jupiter because it's the ninth house, so that's expansive energy. So all of those things, you could grab whatever adjectives you want that describe all of those planets. And as long as you're putting them together in a sentence, that's how it's going to be for you. So it's really kind of nice. That's why you can interpret astrology on an individual basis, because you will know, your heart will know what describing words you're going to use for your sentence. Okay? Does that make sense? You definitely have a lot of energy going on in that area right now. And then beautifully enough, the solar eclipse and the new moon will be in your seventh house of relationship and one on one partnership. Any legal matters that may have been going on you'll either see some resolution or you'll see the beginnings of those things. So there's some progress that will be made one way or another. You may get information about anything legal that you've been kind of dealing with. Whatever it is, that's where that energy lives, in the seventh house. um, but I think it's going to be a good thing because it's a solar eclipse, it's Aquarius, it's a very friendly sign, it's very revolutionary. And it's the dawn of a new day. So bring the most positive thoughts you can with it, and everything's going to be good to go. Expect possibly meeting somebody if you aren't in a relationship, or strengthening the relationships that you have. The sun is going to move into Pisces on the 18th. That's going to be in your eighth house, you guys. So get ready for some transformation. Get ready to see the depths of what you need to bring with you going forward. And then Saturn, when it meets Neptune, it's going to be in the ninth house for you. So that's going to say, hey, guess what, guys? I'm ready to refine what my big picture looks like. Let's get this down, okay? You may have that kind of, because you've got some, Mars energy, that forward moving, um, that push, that motivation. But then we've got Mercury who's going to say, hold on, I'm going to go retrograde, okay? And I'm going to do that in Pisces so that I can have a little more time figuring out what it is that I want to build for myself. Um, that'll be in your eighth house, right? So you've still kind of got that energy. So that seventh, eighth, ninth house energy, which is, what are your connections? How do you make sure that you're being authentic, that your boundaries are being met, and you're having that fairness for yourself and for the other? And then you have that chance to really transform in depth and bring that forward with you into your higher philosophies, into your big picture plans. So it's definitely a good month for you. Definitely, your focus obviously is kind of yourself and the other. And what is destiny unfolding for you? What kind of pivots are there, that are being shown, like, hey, you're on the right track, but there are a couple different streets you can go down, so which one are you going to choose? Follow your heart. You're a Leo, you absolutely know how to do that. This is a beautiful month for you. Be excited, and watch out for where whatever happens, you know the answers. They're deep within, and just follow your heart. Virgo. Okay. Full moon in Leo. It's going to be in your 12th house. If you've ever felt like you needed some solitude and privacy, it's now. You may have a lot of energy because it's the full moon and it's in Leo. So, but it may be something where you're like, I have all this energy, but I really kind of just want to be alone. That's fine. That's completely fine. Use that energy wisely. Remember Leo's strength and that courage, and use that to really build up your emotional nature. Okay, there could be an emotional release, right? So something that the full moon is bringing up for you, that's going to be something that's very private to you. And, you can absolutely reach out for support, but you may not feel like that in this moment. Just remember that you absolutely can. It's perfectly natural to feel this way when any energy is in that 12th house. It's the subliminal house, it's behind the scenes, okay? Kind of makes us all want to just hide. And that's just the way that energy feels. So remember that if it's too intense, if the Leo full moon is jabbing at places, vulnerable spots that you need some support with, reach out. You are not alone at all. It's just the feeling of that seclusion. So remember that and use it in the right way. Okay. So if you're feeling like you kind of just want to be alone and it's okay and you still feel good, then that's great. You know what I mean? Do that, but don't allow yourself to slip into any kind of confusion or depression when you don't need to. It just remember that you're the observer of whatever feelings are coming up for you, and just really allow those things to be answers. Okay. And as Virgos, I know I'm a Virgo moon, so I very much understand a Virgo. There's that energy kind of just wired inside the DNA, right? That says, like, but it's not perfect. It's okay. Okay. Just understand it's okay. I think every Virgo knows that, but every Virgo wants to worry about it at the same time. So really let go of the worry, let go of the perfectionism, and just watch for the answers, watch for the emotional release. Saturn is going to move into Aries in your 8th house on the 13th of the month. So that's going to bring some kind of transformational energy, that depth, the emotional depth, that real, it's going to bring secrets up, or it's going to allow you to address your own secrets and transform them, learn from them, whatever is deep within. Okay. And it's very interesting month for you, Virgo, because you've got that 12th house and that 8th house energy, which is really personal. Okay. It is very personal. And you can use all of this as a tool. Grow with that. That is the seeds for your new garden. Grow with that, and you can really, really, really become exactly who you're becoming. You've got the supportive energy for that. The solar eclipse on the 17th, that's going to be in your 6th house. That's your daily routines, that's your health. Okay. That's Virgo's house, right? So that work, that service, it's also kind of saying, because you've got that 12th and that 8th house energy, like, hey, how do you bring those moments of rest and relaxation into that daily routine? Okay. So what is coming up for you that says, oh my gosh, I need to take a step back? You may be totally burnt out by the 17th. Listen to that. Allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to be okay with introducing little bits of that balance into your daily routine. Okay. It's all about balance. It's all about love. It's all about bringing about a new us. Um, we're really being asked to pay attention to that. So, we've got Uranus moving forward in Taurus. We've got the Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries. We've got Jupiter in Cancer. There's a lot of energy going on right now, and it's all really saying, like, it's time to become who we are. It's time to not be ashamed of who we are. It's time to transform the energies of the past into something better. Okay. And Virgo, you'll be able to really kind of work towards that being of service when you can be of service to yourself. Just remember that. And then the next day, when the sun moves into Pisces, that will be in your seventh house of relationships. So definitely expect some new balance, some blessings there. If there's any time that you want to kind of start a manifesting anything new, it's of course a beautiful time for that, being a new moon, and it's also an eclipse. So it's very powerful energy. So that's all in your house of relationships, the one-on-one, and also any kind of court matter may kind of come up at that time. On the 20th, when Saturn and Neptune hang out at a perfect 0 degrees, it's going to be in your eighth house. So again, that's that transformative energy. So you're really, really being asked to pay attention to the shadows this month. What is deep, deep within? Allow that transformation to occur. You have support during all of that. And then Mercury will go retrograde in your seventh house. So whatever it is, and this is the 26th of the month, so this is towards the end of the month, whatever it is that's kind of being brought out in that seventh house for you, is going to give you a lot of time to really structure that, right? So you're really going to have time to think about that. If something isn't working in your relationships, it's going to become clear. And it is okay to let go of anything that doesn't resonate with who you are, who you are becoming. Okay? Pay attention to your needs for sure. And if this is something that is about, hey, maybe I need to even appreciate my partner more. Maybe it's something that we need to communicate better. It's not an all or nothing situation. It's just giving you the energy to look at it. Okay? And don't make any final decisions during a retrograde. Just observe. Observe the 3 weeks. And, there's a little bit of time, of course, and the pre-shadow and the post-shadow of the retrograde that could be a little bit fuzzy, but it's not quite as fuzzy or confusing as the 3 weeks of the retrograde. So remember that you may feel like you have answers, but if you give it until Mercury goes direct and you're kind of writing these things down and you're journaling, whatever it is that you need to do, then you'll really be able to see how the puzzle forms. Okay, these are all just puzzle pieces. Just put them together slowly but surely. Observe. You're going to be completely fine. All this energy is very supportive and loving. All right. Okay, so for our Libras, the full moon in Leo is going to be in your 11th house. Your groups, your friends, what's your community doing right now? Okay? So that's definitely something that is going to come up for you. It may just be that you may need to just take a minute and step back and figure out how to bring that balance back into it. Or you could see that Leo energy really starting a fire and starting something new for you, or something coming to a head, right? So if you've been working on anything, the full moon will bring that to a head. It also just shines a light on whatever is going on. So there could be things that just come up for you that you're like, oh, I didn't see that before. Now I do. Okay, now I know how to work with this energy, or now I know what to do and what to let go of, or who to let go of. It could definitely be something that just brings your friends back together. Okay. And so that's definitely something that's going to start off the month. Okay. So that's a theme for you in your 11th house. Also, when a full moon is in your 11th house, then that means the new moon's going to be in your 5th, which is tying together creative self-expression. So keep that in mind on the full moon as well, that it's kind of that energy is like, hey, make sure you're being who you are. Make sure you're being true to your friends, to your groups, and encouraging them to do the same. And then on the 13th, when Saturn is into Aries, that's going to be in your 7th house. Okay. So that's kind of a foundational energy in your relationships. It could be it could just be eye-opening in one way or another, or it could say, hey, how are we going to make this real? How are we going to actually build together? There could be answers that come, there could be energy pushing towards building a foundation for your relationships. And it could also just say, it could bring about the idea like, oh, this structure is not working, right? So whatever is going on in your relationships will definitely have that supportive energy to be something that you can build upon, because Saturn is all about, being in your own responsibility, building structures, making something real. All right. And then the solar eclipse on the 17th is in Aquarius, which will put it in your fifth house. Um, of course, we just talked about that with the new moon. So that fifth house energy is really going to give you a chance, because it's an eclipse, for that creative rebirth. Okay. So who are you? How do you express yourself? Definitely you're going to feel that all month long, because we're starting off the month with that full moon in the 11th house. That's already kind of in opposition, right, from where the sun's at right now, which is that fifth house for you. So all of that energy is really hanging out with you all month long. So definitely keep that in mind, that you are really, really, really being asked to be authentic. You are a creative being, and you need to bring that out. Do not be ashamed of those things. What is it that brings you joy? Keep that in the forefront of your life right now. That is what you need to bring balance into your life. There is a huge emphasis on balance. Okay? That masculine and feminine balance coming together, it's being pulled with you. That energy is here. That energy is in your fifth house right now. So don't ignore that. Um, and then the next day, when the sun moves into Pisces, it's going to be a focus on your health, really. It'll be in your sixth house. So, and your daily routine. Okay. So it's kind of like, hey, what did you just learn? Let's bring that into our daily routine. What is it that you're feeling? Make sure, hey, if it's painting, you haven't painted in a while, maybe pick up the paintbrush. Okay. Or if it's writing or whatever makes you unique, whatever brings you joy, maybe it's just taking a walk every day. Just allow yourself to get back to what you love, okay? That childlike energy, whatever it is that really, really sparks the joy in you. And you don't have to share that with anybody else. But if you do, then it's such a beautiful time to be building that community, because that's what this is all about for you. And then when Saturn and Neptune meet at 0 degrees, that will be in your seventh house. So that is really just more energy in that partnership, in that relationship, whatever one-on-one focus you have going on. It's just such a beautiful time to bring what you imagine into reality. Okay. How is it? And also to dissolve the boundaries and the limitations that you had before. Use Neptune's and Saturn's energies to work together. You can absolutely, let the dissolving of the old structures create the fantasy of the new structures. Why not? Use all the energies the best you can. And then, of course, when Mercury goes retrograde, it's going to be back in your sixth house. That is going to kind of really give you that chance to look over your daily routine. What habits have you been doing? Do you have habits? Do you have addictions? Is there anything that is affecting your health or your daily routine that isn't conducive, right? So what is it that you're trying to bring forward with you in the life that you're creating with yourself, with your partners, and with your community? So that's your focus, right? Community, love, purpose, and absolutely creative self-expression. All right. All right, Scorpio. So let's see. The full moon in Leo will be in your 10th house. So what kind of energy in your public life, your career, that public image, what is coming up for you? So we're already tomorrow. I'm recording this on the 31st. It will be out on the 31st. So tomorrow, the 1st, You've already kind of had these answers coming to you. You're a Scorpio, you understand depth. This is the moon we're talking about. The moon is all about depth and transformation and change, right? Just like a Scorpio. What's going on in your career? How are you bringing that transformation into your public life? How are you being recognized? How do people see you? I hope it's for your authenticity. Leo really likes that also. That energy is present for you to use. So use that wisely and understand that whatever it is that needs to be let go of at this time will become clear for you. So Saturn is going to move into Aries on the 13th. That will end up being in your 6th house. Okay. So Saturn is kind of about discipline. It's about responsibility. It's about structure. It can be limitations as well. It can just be kind of boundaries and what it is that you are trying to build, right? And so let's talk about that in regards to your work, your daily routine, and your health. So what is being asked to, like, what are you being asked to be more responsible for? All right. So think about that. Definitely understand that whatever that looks like for you, maybe you just need to be responsible for your actual health. Maybe you need to make sure that you are bringing balance to your life. Go on a walk every day, read a book, read a chapter. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that keeps you happy, just please do those things. Remember that life is short and life is beautiful. So allow that beauty in every single day. Absolutely every day. And then on the 17th, the solar eclipse and new moon will be in your 4th house. So that's going to be a total reset to your home. You could even be moving. I'm not sure exactly kind of what energy you want to bring into your own family, your own roots. Maybe you're starting a family. But that solar eclipse is a really beautiful, beautiful time to help assist you in whatever you're manifesting. So keep your thoughts positive. Keep everything in mind in love and light. Forget fear, forget worry, forget any of those things because those are things of the past. Saturn and Neptune are going to meet on the 20th, and that's going to be in your 6th house again. So you are really talking about your daily routine. You're really talking about your health, your focus on just your day to day. Okay. Huge. How do you bring your dreams into your day to day? Just honestly, be honest with yourself. Be yourself 100%. Okay. Bring love, forget fear. And then on the 26th, when Mercury goes retrograde, it's going to go in your 5th house. So you've got that energy there again, and it's asking for you to really revise what brings you joy. Like, hey, are you actually bringing joy to your daily life? Are you really being yourself? Are you doing what brings you joy in a child's eye? How do you feel? What gave you joy as a child? Okay. Look at that. Look at children. See that, like, that wonder, that beauty, that kind of uncertainty. And remember that we don't need to control anything that is in the future. That's only going to give us anxiety. You don't need to worry about anything in the past that's only going to bring depression. Just think about now. Stay present and remember that you are worth that beautiful feeling of not knowing and not fearing. Okay. Bring that childlike energy into your daily routine. Your main focus is definitely that, plus some career, kind of public image, and really just the responsibility for your daily life. So you've got the supportive energy to be able to do that. So allow yourself to let that in, that transformative energy as a Scorpio will definitely help you because you can see what you need to let go of so much easier, and you can do it. You can definitely do it. You've lived in the depths. You understand how to become something else. Changing is not a strange thing for you. Change in love and in light and with your creative self and your authentic self. You got this. Sagittarius, welcome to the full moon in Leo being in the ninth house. That is a house you're very familiar with. That energy is yours, right? So you're probably going to have some truths revealed. You love truth. You love getting down to the bottom of things. That's all going to come up for you. But also, what is your big picture plan, right? So what's kind of trying to become aligned for you? Maybe you are ready to pick up a book and learn something new. Maybe you're ready to go on a long distance vacation. Maybe it's something that you have just been really interested in that actually falls into place for you. Okay. The universe works in very mysterious ways. Just allow that to happen for you. You've got that Leo energy, so that fire is in there, and so two fires makes a bigger fire, right? So Sagittarius, Leo in the ninth house, that's beautiful. Let it go. Let it happen for you. What's going to come up is definitely kind of that communication energy, considering that the moon is opposing the sun, who is bringing that balance of masculine and feminine energy with it in the third house. So that is really kind of tying in kind of how you communicate who you are and how you see the world. Okay, so keep those things in mind. Your fifth house is activated too, because when Saturn moves into Aries, that's where that's going to be. Okay, that's on the 13th of the month. You are looking at your creative self-expression. You are looking at what brings you joy. You're looking at your children. You're looking at your childlike view of things. Okay, what makes you happy, Sagittarius? What is it that really motivates you to be who you are? Bring that creativity back in your life. Make sure that you are doing what brings you joy. Straight up, just what makes me happy. Okay, bring that into you're looking at this ninth house energy, but you're maybe not seeing it as clearly because that's where you normally are, right? That's the energy you carry with you naturally. So understand that that energy is boosted with this full moon, and that it's really kind of asking you this month to make sure that you're bringing joy into that big picture. So when the solar eclipse happens on the 17th, it'll be the new moon. It's going to be in your third house. So new cycles of communication, new, that could be talking, that could be writing, that could be anything. That can be social media, that can be the news. Maybe it's saying like, hey, stop watching the news, create your own news. Okay, become a headliner yourself. What's the new me trying to be? I don't know. Maybe it could be anything that has to do with communication, that has to do with your siblings even. Okay, that house is really all about kind of just being clear, and you have that truth, right? Because you've got that ninth and third house energy. So being who you are, being authentic in your communication is super important, and bringing that fifth house joy energy along with you, no matter what you're doing. That's really going to help build your beauty and your new life, because Saturn and Neptune are saying, hey, dude, it's time. Okay. So when the sun goes into Pisces on the 18th, that's going to be in your fourth house. All right. So you've got that energy there saying, hey, what's going on at home that we need to focus on? It could absolutely be beautiful, right? And it could be something that just says, oh my gosh, I wasn't even considering that, because all this energy and this focus has been kind of all about how you're going to build who you are, how you're going to build what you think about, and what matters to you. How are you going to communicate those things? This will give you the chance to say, okay, and this is how it affects my family. This is how I can positively bring that foundation that I've built to the next level with me, right? And then Saturn and Neptune will be best friends on the 20th, right? Sharing the same degree to the minute in your fifth house. So that's really going to say, what structures have you built? Okay. What structures have you built for who you want to be? Neptune is like, dude, we've been hanging out with Saturn, dissolving all these old structures for a long time. Now Saturn's ready to be responsible and help you build those dreams. So what is it that you've come up with? It's such a good time to really just bring that beauty into your new reality. So we're talking about things that are otherworldly, bringing them into the real world. So we call it, right? So what the fact that Saturn and Neptune are conjunct is wild anyway. So they couldn't be any more opposite, right? So and then with Mars and Venus with the sun, all everybody's like, "Hey, let's just balance everything out." Really connect with that energy, okay? We're really being asked to kind of restart on a level that makes more sense, okay? So there's nothing that is more important than another. Bring that balance back into your life and remember that your kids or the way you looked at things as a child will definitely come up for you, and use that as inspiration and be disciplined enough to make that a responsibility for yourself to really bring that joy with you on a daily basis. Okay. And then on the 26th, when Mercury goes retrograde, that's going to happen in your fourth house. So, whatever you've noticed going on in your home, your family, anything like that, you're going to have that opportunity to just let it kind of be something you're observing. And, everything will become more clear when Mercury goes back direct. So, just, miscommunications in the home are very possible. Don't start any new projects. Don't rip out your bathroom because you may not actually finish that project for a very, very long time. Or if you do, it'll have to be redone. It's not worth starting new projects during a Mercury retrograde. Just allow those ideas to come and really just write them down and organize them later. So your main focus is definitely an expansion of kind of your own personal structure and your foundations. How do you bring your family with that? How do you make sure that you're bringing your most beautiful creativity and your joy with you on a daily basis? Okay, Capricorn. The full moon in Leo on the first of the month is going to be in your eighth house. So that is kind of really bringing the depth of, secrets, transformation. It's all coming to a head. You may find some stuff out. It's definitely going to be a good thing. Remember that even when secrets get revealed, it could be shocking, but all of those things are for a reason. Understand that even if there is a shock, even if it is painful, it's something that you're meant to go through so that something better works out. Okay. There's also like a financial resolution of some sort or something, some situation, maybe a debt gets paid off. Okay. There's definitely kind of that energy towards like shared resources, um, anything like that. Really in that eighth house is all about like bigger kind of like banks, debts, shared resources, things like that. um, Use those things wisely. Definitely understand the energy is kind of towards that transformation for you. You've got that Leo energy with the full moon, so it's, bring your heart into it. Definitely have the courage to move through whatever the moon is trying to show you, and let go of what you don't need. Just let it go. Leave it in the eighth house. The eighth house energy has all the skills and tools and resources to just, you know, transform it into something good. Let that energy become positive. Let go of fear, bring in love. And then on the 13th, when Saturn moves into Aries, that's going to be in your fourth house, kind of saying what kind of restructuring needs to go on at home. Okay. So you've got that energy kind of going like, what is it that you want to build for your family is really, because Saturn is all about building and being responsible. It's all about kind of like limitations. Maybe there needs to be boundaries or limitations in the home. You might need to be a little bit more realistic in some ways. But then again, Neptune has kind of been hanging out. And so Neptune's like, yeah, but I'm pretty excited to maybe bring my dream home into reality. So there's a lot of energy there. Just allow that to be something you observe and kind of go with towards the end of the month, especially after Mercury goes back direct. But before that, the 17th the solar eclipse and new moon that's going to happen in Aquarius is going to be in your second house. So again, you've got that financial pole, so that eighth house full moon and second house new moon, also solar eclipse energy. Something big is going on with your resources, um, but also so much so your self-worth. So of course, bring in the money, right? Bring it all in. Maybe there's like, maybe you're getting an inheritance. There could be anything. Maybe you're selling something, a property, whatever. Just allow those things to be used in a way that still makes you feel worthy, and that brings about that like beauty and that balance in your life. If this, when it is at 28 degrees, mind you, so depending on where that falls specifically in your chart, it could really bring some new success in that area. Okay, financially, self-worth, your resources, beauty, all those things. So definitely keep a lookout for that. And when the sun moves into Pisces on the 18th, it will be in your third house. So that's going to be a focus on communication. um Anything that happens in the third house is going to be all about communication, your siblings, short trips, things like that. So understand that what it is that you're trying to communicate may end up being something where you feel like you have a lot of energy to do so, but that's also where Mercury is going to go retrograde. So it's kind of a funny placement for that because Mercury rules the third house. Um, just keep that in mind and really, really observe. And you can communicate whatever it is that you want. Just understand that towards the end of the month, that communication it may not come across in the way that you want it to. So just use discernment. And absolutely a beautiful time to journal for you. Very, very beautiful. Okay, start at the beginning of the month and go all the way through March, because really in the 2 month period of time, you could have your own words in your own written journey give you the most beautiful answers of your life. And on the 20th, when Neptune and Saturn meet, it's going to be in your fourth house. So that energy is really going to be there for you to kind of just heal either family patterns or move forward with whatever it is. Saturn was like, hey, we need to build this. You'll be able to do that in a more balanced and beautiful way. So, of course, that retrograde Mercury on the 26th will be in your third house. And so just really, really understand that there is potential for miscommunication. So take everything easy, take it as with a grain of salt. Just know that, whatever doesn't really come out right, there's totally a chance to resolve those matters down the road. So communication is huge for you, your resources, your intimacy, secrets maybe coming to light. Definitely just kind of keep an eye out for ways that you can positively transform, to build your life and a better life for your family as well. Okay, so Aquarius, the full moon in Leo is going to be in your seventh house. That is all about your relationships, one on one partnerships. If there's any kind of legal matters that could come up for you, or it could actually be a resolve, a resolution of whatever that is. Something to really think about when a full moon is in your seventh house is definitely kind of understanding what relationships are working or what is working in your relationships and what you need to let go of. Okay, who you need to let go of. Are they working with you? Are they moving forward in the same way you are? If not, it's okay to let them go. Just bless them, thank them for what they did for you while they were there, and move forward in love. You don't need to, it doesn't need to be anything dramatic, although Leo might suggest otherwise with the full moon. And that's okay. If you do see like a dramatic kind of either ending or, something that just comes to fruition with that relationship, that's kind of what it's all about this month. So just be aware for that, and just keep in mind that you need to worry about yourself right now. You need to worry about being that leader for yourself and understanding that other people will see that and learn from that. Have your boundaries. Definitely be very aware of what that balance looks like for you, that self and other relationship, and make sure that both things are running smoothly. It's a good month for you to have that energy just present for you to look at. Um, so it's actually, it's a beautiful placement really for a full moon, but it's also very telling. So just listen to that and see what comes up for you. That's going to start the month off. And then the 13th, when Saturn moves into Aries, there's definitely going to likely be an emphasis on, I don't know, maybe serious conversations. That's in your third house. Okay. So Saturn is more the serious one. Aries is kind of like, let's do this now. I don't want to wait. We're going to talk about this. So being in the third house, we're going to talk about it, right? But Aries is the doer. The third house is more the thinker and the communicator. And Saturn is like, let's be responsible for whatever it is that we're doing. Don't let fear in. Saturn, there is a lower expression of Saturn that is fear, limitation, things like that. Just don't allow it, okay? Bring love and responsibility and responding to your ability to be a leader in the way you communicate. The solar eclipse on the 17th, also new moon, will be in your first house. So that's why the emphasis on that full moon in the seventh house, that's why it brings about that beautiful balance, because the new moon is in your first house. So this is technically, it could very well be a new life eclipse for a lot of our Aquarius, but it depends on the exact degree. So definitely reach out. If you're an Aquarius or an Aquarius rising, reach out to me, to another astrologer, whatever it is. If you know how to read a chart, look at it. If you have a conjunction going on with the solar eclipse, it's a new life eclipse for you. So that energy is very, very potent. And it's really asking for you to just be strong in who you are. Keep that balanced energy, that masculine, that feminine, and move forward in a transformed state, saying, these are my boundaries. This is who I am. And I don't care if you like it or don't, take it or leave it, because this is me. And I have a feeling, Aquarius, that people are going to want to take it. Okay. They're all going to be very envious and very excited to find out what Aquarius has been up to. Okay. They're always the ones, you guys are always the ones who really have that shock and awe. No Aquarius is exactly the same anyways, right? So you really have to kind of show the world how revolutionary you can be. Okay. This is your month to do that. And then the sun is going to go into Pisces. That'll be in your second house. Okay. So what's your financial focus right now? The sun is there. Okay. So you have a bright light being shined in your second house. And that's also self-worth. Okay. But you've already been experiencing that all month long. You're bringing that anyway. You're an Aquarius who is worthy of being heard right now. It is a revolutionary time. Uranus is all about that. And we've got Pluto in Aquarius as well. So that energy is like, hey guys, we're seriously rewriting history right now. We're completely making it new. It's all beautiful. It's all new. It's all time to like start listening to an Aquarius, because you guys have the great ideas. All right. Uranus, who is a ruler of Aquarius, is the higher octave of Mercury. So thoughts and communication, times it by a billion and give it no limitations, right? That's Uranus. So everybody's got the energy to really, really be something incredible, especially with a strong Uranus in their chart or an Aquarius energy in any way. So the fact that we've got this solar eclipse in Aquarius is actually so beautiful for humanity in general. So you guys, we're kind of looking at you. Be the leaders. Show us what you got. Show us what you've been trying to say for so long. I think we're all here to listen. All right. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, the 20th, when Saturn and Neptune make their grand conjunction, that'll be in your third house. So it's time to talk about it. It's time to tell us all what you've been trying to say. So that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. I have a feeling that that's exactly meant to be just for that. Okay. So please talk. Tell us what it is we need to know, how we need to prepare ourselves for this Aquarian energy coming into our lives, and how to really bring that revolution to the world. Um, when the retrograde Mercury happens, it's going to be in your second house. So expect some kind of, I don't know, definitely don't do anything, don't make any rash decisions with your finances. Okay, February 26th, just be mindful of whatever it is that kind of comes up for you. Things could just be a little confusing. Just don't worry about it. Observe what happens. Don't start any new projects, and um, yeah, don't make any huge changes during that time. So definitely the focus of the month is really like your partnerships, but so much so your self-worth, your value, and how to be leaders as an Aquarius, you guys. All right. Pisces. All right. Last but definitely not least, the full moon is going to be in your sixth house. All right. You've got a full moon, Leo energy in your sixth house. That is definitely really promoting some positive spark for your health, for your daily routine. Be courageous, that Leo energy, and allow whatever isn't working for you to just be let go of. Okay, the full moon really makes things clear, right? So it's like a giant flashlight being held against what's working and what isn't. And for you, we're talking about the sixth house energy paired with Leo. So we're talking about health. We're talking about that service, daily routines, things like that. Everything that kind of build, what it is you do for work. All of that is coming to fruition with that Leo energy that is courage and truth and love. And we're talking about light, right? So any full moon in Leo is almost like you're adding two suns to a moon, because you've got the brightness from the opposing sun and moon, but you're also in Leo, which is ruled by the sun. So it's like you've got a sun on either side of the moon. So you've really got a full moon. Expect some seriousness to change in your daily routine. Make it be positive. It doesn't even matter if you literally add 2 minutes of breath work a day. That's a huge impact. It may seem like nothing, but believe me, it's a huge impact. Okay. Whatever you can do for yourself to make sure that you are moving forward in a healthy way, in a practical way, and just with happiness and joy in general, you're really going to kind of see those things come out for you right off the bat at the beginning of the month. And then on the 13th, when Saturn moves into Aries, that's going to be in your second house. Financial progress, maybe things that Saturn is interesting, right? So it depends on what's going on in your life. There's definitely a positive and negative expression to all planets, but Saturn really, really has a positive and a negative. I mean, you can absolutely feel the energy if you want, if you choose to, in fear and in limitation and in restriction. Okay. But why do that when you can also respond to your ability to create, to build, to have a foundation working for you? Okay. That's the positive Saturn. And you might as well focus in that way. You may feel some limitations. Absolutely. It's hard not to kind of have all of Saturn's energy, but where your focus goes, your energy goes, right? Or whatever the saying is. But regardless, we're talking about your resources. We're talking about something that is going to help you build your life. So Saturn might as well be used for that helpful hand, right? Say, "Oh, cool, you're actually giving me the ideas on how to build a structure that works for me." So use it for that. Don't use it as a limitation or a fear tactic. Even if something is limited, understand that that is for the benefit later, and use that in kind of the planning stages of whatever it is that's going to be brought to you. Because it's hanging out with Neptune, so you've got that dreaminess, right? And Neptune does dissolve what doesn't work for you, and Saturn can limit. So maybe all of a sudden you have zero money. That's not going to happen. Okay. That's not going to happen. Use it for its positive expression. You can absolutely see what dreams you want to bring to reality, how that works well with you building your resources, and, whatever just ground you need to build upon. Okay. So, and keep your self-worth in mind as well. That second house, a lot of people overlook that because it's like money. Oh, cool. Yay, give me more money. And absolutely, I agree. But you have to have that self-worth because you actually deserve the money. You actually deserve to build the future that you want. So keep that in mind for sure. Now, so the eclipse on the 17th is going to be in your 12th house of Aquarius, right? So that's going to be an energy you know well as a Pisces in that 12th house. So, and it's also a new moon. It's kind of a perfect time to have 12th house energy. Um, you've got a really good chance to be in that private life to say, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I've been needing. I've been needing that solitude, that rest, and so many answers could come up. Okay. It's your subconscious. Let yourself listen, and then those things can be brought up to a conscious level and you can apply them in your daily life, right? So we're talking about your daily routine, and we're talking about rest. Maybe you need to recognize that you need more of that in your daily routine. So you've got a lot of energy in that Neptunian, that Saturn, all of these things are kind of wrapping up for you in a very total way. And how beautiful to happen on a total solar eclipse. So just be ready for that. There's kind of like a karmic reset, so just be open to what comes up for you. It's going to be beautiful for sure. And then when the sun moves into Pisces, that'll be into your first house. So that's really saying, like, how do I renew who I am? How do I make sure that I'm upholding my own personal boundaries in fairness for myself? Okay. Absolutely starts with you. All this love and light comes from the inside and works its way out. You have to recognize that. Oftentimes there's like a selflessness in a Pisces, right? That honestly, it is such a beautiful thing. But there needs to be that same energy directed inside of you. You've got to carry that, because if you don't hold that all the way, then how are you going to give that out, right? Your cup needs to be full before it can overflow to the world. So definitely keep that in mind. That first house energy is going to be coming at you. It's Pisces season coming up, so you know how it is. It's pretty cool. And then on the 20th, when Saturn and Neptune make their grand debut, it is going to be redefining your values in your second house again. So that's really all about your money. It's all about your values. It's all about just what did Saturn tell you when Saturn was like, hey guys, guess what? I'm in your second house now. What answers did you get? Well, now you've got those answers with Neptune, because Neptune's been there saying, hey, guess what we're doing in here? We're going to we're going to build our dream life. That's what's going to happen when you have Saturn and Neptune together. How beautiful, right? Build your dream life. Here is your um here's your foundation, right? It's helping you build it. So use that energy wisely. And then Mercury's retrograde will go through your first house too. So whatever it is that needs to come up as far as personal boundaries will definitely happen for you. So you've got supportive energy there. Definitely. I mean, you might all of a sudden say, like, I want to dye my hair bright red and with splotches of green. I mean, you can do it, but you're probably going to change it when Mercury goes direct. So just keep those things in mind. It's really a reflection period. But the month looks good for you, so you deserve it. Keep it in mind. So I also do want to go over kind of what energy a solar eclipse is going to bring. Okay. So there's definitely a very powerful energy that comes with them. It's an eclipse. So it's almost like a disguised way of being super powerful. So that energy really does feel different. Um, and it's very impactful. Now, a new life eclipse will happen when the eclipse is conjunct your sun, your moon, or your ascendant. I would use a tighter orb with those things. So absolutely reach out to an astrologer, go to solarup.com. I'm willing to just chat with you guys too. You don't even need necessarily a full reading. Just let me know what questions that you have, and I'm happy to answer them for you. Especially if you are an Aquarius or you have an Aquarius moon or rising sign, and you're not 100% sure what degree those things fall at. This could be a total new beginning for you. A new life eclipse is going to change the direction of your life. Fated relationships can happen during an eclipse. It's definitely a redirection for everyone, and it's marking a new beginning as a whole. And typically, the energy that is created and kind of being formed during an eclipse is not necessarily going to become clear right away. It takes a while. It's really up until the next pair of eclipses 6 months later, but you probably will feel the majority of the energy 3, 4 months down the road. So keep that in mind when you are using this energy to plant the seeds of whatever you're bringing, whatever intentions you want for the new year, for just yourself, for the rebuild, right, for the new us. This is such a collective and personal level of building new us's, right? We're writing a whole new story. Be very mindful of what you ask for, because this energy is happening so fast. What you want, if you want something and you take action to get it, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen quick. So be careful that you're not asking for anything too specific. Allow what you need and what you want to be brought to you, and just that energy like you already have it, right? Say if you want to all of a sudden win the lottery, you're never going to until you buy lottery tickets, right? So that's just how it is. That's exactly how it is. You can think about having the winning numbers all you want, but it'll absolutely never happen until you buy the tickets. So keep that in mind. That's how it works to manifest anything. Absolutely think about it, absolutely focus on it, but you've got to take action, okay? You have to move towards it. Act like it's already yours, and that's the way you live your life. That's the road you already drive on. Okay? That's the river you sail down. Just whatever, just do exactly what it is that you want to see for yourself, because it's like a cosmic reset button. Okay? So it's like our video ended and you're putting a new one in. I think I just referenced VHSs, which totally dates me, but whatever, that's how that's going to go. So just remember that this is a new chapter. This is not, I mean, it's not a new chapter, it's a new book, it's a new life, it's a new world order. The structure of everything is being redone. There's definitely sudden shifts and in the direction of everything. You're going to notice that all around you. You could just see that in other people and coworkers and whatever. It's not exactly like a normal new moon where it's a good time to kind of just pause, reflect, and plant your seeds of intention. All of that is absolutely still true, but it's like when you do that, those things are put out for the whole world to see. And so you're going to start seeing the synchronicities line up. Pay attention to that and really move towards what your destiny is. Okay, there's like a purpose, and your identity upgrades. Okay, really be authentic, be who you are. So it affects kind of how we show up, right? How it is that we decide to be in the world, to be in our private lives too. Both of those, they don't have to be exactly the same. They can absolutely be different. You have every right to have a private identity. But are you living in alignment in privacy and in public? Are you living in alignment with who you are in all facets of your life? That's what's important for you to understand. the unseen can become visible. It's like eclipses kind of temporarily like black things out, and then all of a sudden everything's way clearer. Okay. So hidden things can definitely surface. Truths can surface, and whatever was hidden is just not gonna be. It's gonna be undeniable. Like, oh, this is where I need to be in life. This is how I want to direct my life. I'm going to do it now. It's time. We've got Aquarian energy this year, full blown. Be who you want to be. Okay. So there's just some seriously like strong intuitive hits too. So Aquarius, remember, is obviously it's very revolutionary. I've said that plenty, but it also rules astrology. So it's like that otherworldly, um, just you can kind of see the connections of everything, right? So everything will kind of come together and you're thinking with no limitations, none whatsoever. During this eclipse, you're going to see the world bigger, and you're going to see that you don't have a limit and you don't have a structure that you have to follow anymore. Neptune has been working really hard to dissolve Saturn's past structures, and now they're working together so beautifully that you are given the keys to a new car. Okay. It is your car. You get to drive it wherever you want, meaning you're building whatever dream life you want. What have you always wanted? Now's the time to use all that beautiful energy that's going on around us for your purpose. Okay. It's really, really, it's just a beautiful time. Okay. So love everything that you see, observe it all. Just really be somebody watching. You can watch in awe. It will be that, you'll just, even if it's something that comes up that you're like, oh my gosh, seriously, I let that happen for how long? Well, guess what? Now. So what? Forgive yourself for that and move forward. Perfect. You just got the answers to help yourself build a boundary so that you never have to experience that again. What is it that you're working towards? How is that going to fit into a community? Because all of this is happening to us all. It's a collective energy. Be there for it. Okay. Just show up. That's all you got to do. Okay, thank you so much for hanging in there. I know this is a long video. I just want to wrap it up with a beautiful planetary alignment. We're calling it the Planetary Parade. It's happening on the 28th of February. We've got Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune all align in the night sky. Most of those planets will be visible. Uranus and Neptune may require a telescope or binoculars. But definitely just let your eyes adjust to the night for a little bit of time, and you're going to see just something so beautiful. And Jupiter and Venus, mind you, are the brightest. Venus is the brightest planet to look at. Jupiter will be the next brightest. Mars is kind of that reddish tint, right? So it's definitely dimmer for sure, but it's very noticeable. Um, and remember, the planets don't have that like blinky that stars do. They're more that shimmery, shiny, it looks like kind of diamonds reflecting on lights. That's definitely the stars. The planets are more still, so you're going to know. And there's all kinds of apps on your phone you can get. I use Sky Map all the time. Anything like that you can just kind of point at the sky and it'll identify what you're looking at. So definitely take advantage of that. It's going to be really, really beautiful. I hope that it's clear for everyone and warm enough to actually go outside and enjoy it. Okay. You guys all have such a beautiful month ahead. I mean, we all do. We're all in this together. Let's move forward in love and in light and build the coolest ever society for ourselves. And of course, the sign of the day is let go. All right. I feel like at an eclipse time, it's really, really important for us to let go of the past. So we're just going to grab whatever we're holding on to and we're going to let it go. That's it. Just let go. It's so easy. let go. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I hope to see you all soon, and reach out, solarup.com. Any questions or anything that you need, I'm always here for you. All right. Thank you.